Hey, so another pretty cool thing that happened between when we last spoke is a a, a girl that went to my high school and then to my college who was a year younger in grade wise, but she's really only like 3 months younger than me. Uh, she went she went to the freaking International Space Station. She's an
Oh,
astronaut. She blasted off from Russia. She's in space now for the next 6 months. Yeah, like I don't know her.
wow.
I don't have any real memory of her, but like we have common friends,
Yes,
uh,
yeah, right.
and certainly
In
common
your
experiences.
in your circle of friends.
Well, in my adjacent circle of friends, yes,
Ah, once removed.
but pretty freaking
Uh,
cool.
oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
What kind of a reality is that? If that's your job, I
yeah,
mean, good
well,
Lord.
and her like they when I was waiting in the 30 minutes before the launch because I wanted to watch it live, uh, they did sort of a little retrospective on all of the astronauts that were going up, and her history is just crazy. Like she loves rock climbing, and she did she spent like 4 or 5 months at the South Pole doing research. You know, just crazy extreme stuff. But she and studying. She worked at the Jet Propulsion Labs and Goddard and stuff like that, just doing crazy sciencey stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, and it's such a the competition. Like I think they choose like 10 people, 8 or 10 people to sort of be like the graduating class, not even the graduating class, but like the ones selected to go through the training program. And so several of the people that went through the training program with her are were already up there and have done it. But just to be selected because
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
his that's more that's a more competitive thing than like
Anything
being in the NBA. Like
than anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah. Than
There's
anything.
so few people get to actually do
In
that.
such a in all levels, at all spheres of your physical, spiritual, mental,
Yeah,
emotional self. It is such an absolute total commitment to the science
yeah,
that you are comfortable. I imagine largely comfortable with knowing that your life is absolutely totally reliant on not just the science, but
right.
your belief of the science, not just your understanding,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but your belief. Because at some point, there's a spiritual aspect of that these men and women have got to feel like they can look their loved ones in the eyes and say, "I'm going to be okay."
Right. And
You know,
some of them don't come back, but yeah, it's and again with to investigate a little bit your parallels with science and religion. Like at some point with science, you have to take someone else's word for something because you can't understand all the science. It's not like a couple hundred years ago where Thomas Jefferson or whoever really could be an expert in like 20 different fields. Whereas now you got to trust that the other scientists promise that yes, these rockets work in the way that they do, and whatnot.
well,
But
it's the team.
right, exactly. And
It's the team.
and who's a better team than to have your back than freaking NASA? But yeah,
Well, and the story I tell in my reform work, which is system change work, is that I tell the story of the janitor who's in a NASA demonstration. He's way in the back, and one of the visitors, one of the people that were should have been up front listening more closely to what was being said up front. He went to the back to have a smoke or something like that.
right,
That's what I picture.
sure.
And he asked the janitor, "So what do you do here? What's your job?" And the janitor said, "My job is to get a man on the moon."
Fuck
And
yes.
it's the absolutely epitome of understanding that every movement you make, every professional breath you take is for one objective. And the ownership of that by a very large group of people is in itself a spiritual experience
Yes.
because it is built on camaraderie and trust and laughter and love and trust engendered, and trust is at the center of it. But nonetheless, all those other things, as with any team,
Yeah.
there's a sense of humor to it. And and you hear in some
And I've got
professions
your
it's like
back, and you've
dark,
got mine,
right,
and
right. And
knowing
then the dark humor, in corrections, for example, there's always dark humor, you know.
I mean, I imagine in NASA they joke all the time about, well, I don't know. I was going to say they joke about, well, there's a whole bunch of fuel under your ass here. Hope it all burns the way we expect it to.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But
I just think it's such the
that is a really beautiful story. I like that the janitor is here to put a man on the moon.
yeah, it's pretty commonly told in the when you're given talks, of getting people
To
focused.
motivate people that
Right,
might be at
right.
low levels of the organization.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because